Hey guys, Duncannon here. Today I thought I'd do a quick overview of the Summer Quest. Now I know it's been over for a little bit now, and I am a little bit behind. Sorry, apologies for the lack of content. Had some real world stuff I had to deal with. But I'm back recording some stuff again, and I thought I'd just go over the event, what it was, how to earn the rewards in that event for those of you that missed out on it, and how I went, and some potential improvements that I'd make to the next one. Let's get into it. Summer Quest, what was it? Now, Summer Quest was their Gaijin's yearly summer event that goes on, which is more of a gameplay-oriented event, I would say, as opposed to their kind of Build-A-Bear events that they do usually in winter, I believe. So the way that you would progress in this event was by getting marks of distinction. And with each mark of distinction, you get a small reward. And then in this one, on the 4th for ground vehicles, you got a cool premium Italian tank destroyer, which is apparently garbage. And then on the 8th for all the other different modes, you would get the F4D Skyray, the Leopard 2AV, and the IGN Haruna. And if you got all the way to 10, you could get a coupon to make all of those things tradable. For players like me who don't really care about the marketplace so much, I stopped at 8. I think I did accidentally get the camouflage for the Leopard 2, but I didn't make a concerted effort to get it. That was just me trying to grind out some lineups. So how do you get these mark of distinctions? Well, all you had to do this year was get 40,000 score. I know, only 40,000. So you get score just by playing the game. So every time you take an action in the game that is positive, let's say, so say you scout someone, you get an assist, you get a kill, you capture a point, you help a teammate, anything like that will earn you score. So for Air Realistic, for example, I was bombing a lot of bases in things like the Thunder Chief or the SU-7, because that base bombing guarantees you get at least I think it's 500 to 600 score. So even if you die immediately after that, that's decent, because in RB those scores were doubled. And with things like the Thunder Chief and the SU-7, they're decent fighters afterwards. They can catch people off guard, and so I was mostly bombing bases, but I did get a decent amount of kills as well. And so that got me the Air RB marks of distinction, which got me up to the Skyray. For the Leopard 2, I was simply grinding out lines that I needed to grind out for ideas that I have for future videos. So I think I was doing a lot of America at 6.3, 6.7. And then I switched to Germany, and I was acing a couple of vehicles that I didn't ace at about the 5.0 battle rating. And so I was playing a lot of that, just playing the game, trying to get kills, trying to win games. I didn't have to focus on, getting 10 base captures or 25 assists or, 70 kills or whatever it was last year. They've simplified it right down to just play the game, do as well as you can. People who are, getting a bit lucky or who are higher skilled players are going to finish it quicker. Those who maybe are getting unlucky or are new to the game, they're going to take a little bit longer. But all in all, you don't have to really focus on, one specific thing in any battle. You just play the game. And I think that's a really good change. I think Gaijin should be applauded. I think people should definitely tell them that was a good idea. And I'll go into why a bit later in this video. So how did I go in the event? Well, as I've mentioned, I did in fact get the Skyray. I did also manage to get the Leopard 2AV here. And I did get the Zerinier as well. I'm not sure if I have that in a lineup yet, but here it is, just here. So I managed to get the 3 vehicles that I wanted to go and get. I'm not much of a naval player. Never really have been. That may change in the future, but right now it's not really my focus. So the Haruna I skipped over, even though it did look like it was quite an impressive vessel. Knowing very little about it, it looked good at least, so good on you guys if you got the boat. Now, I ground out, I think, 7 for ground and 6 for air. So I mostly did it legit. I didn't quite get the last couple there because real world issues, let's say. But I did do most of the grinding, and so I think I have a pretty good platform to sit here and say that 40,000 score for the average player is too much. Now, pretty much all of my screen time was taken up grinding this event. So whenever I wasn't off doing other real life stuff, I was sitting here in front of my PC grinding the event, and I'm someone who's happy to put the time aside to do that. A majority of players maybe won't be. I don't know, maybe they are, maybe they're not, but I get the feeling, talking to my friends who don't play the game as much as I do, that they would just not even bother with the event because they knew it was going to take too long and they didn't want to be disappointed every time they missed out on a market distinction. So, yeah, I can sit here and say that I think whilst the change to score was a really good change, the goal that they set with that change was probably too high. Now, I would say that taking 10,000 off of that and making it a 30,000 score objective would make it much more accessible. You'd get a lot more people playing because they would feel like the event is more achievable. Yes, you'd probably get more vehicles out there, and maybe they want people to feel a bit special or exclusive for having those event vehicles, but I think at the end of the day, for the health of the game, having more people playing is probably the bigger benefit there, especially because a bunch of those people that maybe haven't played so much recently or are coming back to the game to try and do something fun like grind an event, or their friends convince them to, or whatever reason they're playing, you might get some retention from that. And so your player base will increase, even if it is just temporarily, it will increase, and it will be better for the health of the game. Now, the reason why I think it's a really good change to go to score is because it means that you don't have people that, say they get their kills done really quickly. You don't have people sitting there, rushing caps in fast vehicles like has happened in the past. You don't have people shooting someone and then just having to hope that their teammates get the kill to get your assists. You don't have people rushing around just trying to capture bases and not shooting people, or even worse, leaving the game after they've capped a base. You don't have any of that kind of like event-style gameplay, I guess, or event-focused gameplay, which can be quite negative to the experience for a lot of players. I know a lot of people stop playing for events. Not people that I know personally, but people that I've talked to online. They just stop playing because the community tends to take everything a bit more seriously. It's a bit more volatile, so you get a lot more anger, especially in the chat and in people's actions. And you also get games that are really one-sided or don't pan out the way that a normal game would, because people's objectives are different than they normally would be. People aren't just trying to win, they're not just trying to get kills, they're trying to get the event complete, and they don't really care about anything else. You also get a fair bit of kill stealing and the like in Air RB, people chasing kills for their event. That tends to stop after the event's done as well, so it doesn't necessarily bring out the best in War Thunder's community, but that's just because the way the events are set up by Gaijin, I believe, they encourage people to behave like that because they set the targets too high, and so people are going to be more cutthroat because they think they need to be to get those targets. So yeah, just in summary about this event, the change to score was great because it means you can just go out there, and if you're really good at just killing people, you can just go and kill people till you get the score. If you're more focused on scouting or capping bases or playing spars or whatever you want to play, you can do that and you can still get the event doing it that way. However, I still think that bar's too high. I think that needs to come down just a little bit. And that way it becomes more accessible for all. Now I understand why they set it high. They want people to spend money, like I did. I spent probably $20 on this event, and they want people to do that. The problem is if you set the bar too high to try and frustrate people into spending money, then they're not even going to bother. So I think there needs to be a compromise there. You will get the same amount of money spent, if not more, because you have a larger percentage of your community playing. Now that's just my opinion. If you disagree, please take it up with me in the comments below. I'd love to hear everyone's opinions on this event, how it went, how you went. Let me know if you got all the vehicles or if you didn't, and why you didn't. Anyway, that's the event as it was for me, and a few suggestions for Gaijin, things they did and didn't do well. I'll leave you guys to it, and I'll see you in the next one.